Yay, there she is. Okay, I'm starting the video. Shit. Yes. Fuck me. All right. Hello, everybody out there in Twitch land. Those of you, hello, Dan Dazzle. He is joining us tonight. Everybody say hello to Dan. Sorry, it took a little bit longer than normal because the first time I played the intro, I didn't have sound. I did the same thing last week and just let it go. So this week, I did it again with sound. So we're getting there. And I did remember to turn everybody's mics on. So not only can I be heard, but everybody else can be heard. All right. And so let me fix Bobby because he's a little bit closer to his camera than he was a moment ago. There we go. All right. So we have a little bit of business to discuss, folks. Some changes are going to be happening. And so we need to discuss and figure out what we want to do as a group. The good news is, starting next week, we will have 2 new players. So the bad news is they can only play every other week. So we have 4 choices, and you guys need to think about it. And I'll ask again right when we're about ready to stop to see which one of these 4 choices you want. First choice is we only play every other week. And that is my least favorite option. Second choice is we can play this, do what we're doing every week, and the week when those 2 players aren't here, their characters will either just I'll run them or they'll just disappear and then come back the following week. Again, not quite my favorite. My two other two choices would be one, we can just start a brand new campaign with all 5 people, all of us rolling up new characters, and this campaign will just be on the off weeks when they aren't here, and we'll just continue this the way it is now. Or the flip side of that would be you get 2 more helpers in this campaign, and the 3 of us, you 3 players, 4 of us, and me start a new campaign for the weeks when the other people aren't here. So only play every other week with 5 people. What? No, what I'm saying is, yeah, the last one would be we play every other week when they aren't here, like we've been all along, with just the 4 of us. And then the weeks they are here, we're doing a different campaign with new characters, new everything, with 5 people. So it's either 5 people with a new campaign, 5 people with this campaign, uh, or only play every other week. So think about it, and we'll come back to it at the end and decide what you guys want to do. Oh, and speaking of which, Jingo is in the chat, and Jingo is going to be one of the players who's jumping in. So now, Jingo, you get to see what you're getting into, for better or for worse. So when last we left our group, you guys were on the island of Istamak, and showing the map for. Oh, they changed it. By the way, one last thing I wanted to ask before we get too far into it. How is this new theme for everybody visually? Is everybody able to read it? I know some of us have issues with the sight and stuff. Are you able to read the text and your character sheet and spells and everything? Are we okay? Okay, so you prefer the normal one better? All right, and do you guys have your characters open? Okay, so you can see what the characters are and stuff. All right, so do we need to switch it now, or are we okay for tonight? All right, so Bobby, you have the deciding vote. Are you okay with the way it is for tonight? All right, so you guys had chased the cult of the Devourer, and who had been working to try to find the Stellar Degenerator, which is a giant weapon that can destroy planets. And you guys had chased them to outside the Pact Worlds to this planetary system called the Najor system. Najor 4 is a big gas giant planet. The only thing around the gas giant is this still floating city kept aloft by mostly magic. It's been abandoned for 1,000 years or so. The technological race that used to be here is long since gone, and the remaining people here have devolved into barbarian type people. What was your question? We can't hear you. All right. And so the cultists, when they got here, they went into this sacred temple of theirs, and after searching for the reason we went into this place was to find information. Then they broke their way out. They violated their temple, killed a bunch of people, and left. In, res- in response, in response to that, um, they shut the temple down and made it to where nobody could go in. Um, and then they, so when you guys arrived, you aren't allowed into the temple to get the same information they had. So you had to find another way in. And to do that, you had to go to the Maze of Ghosts, you had to go to the House of Renewal. You did both of those things, and in both places you found part of a communicator that has a signal with a message in it. You were able to then triangulate the two messages and find out that you're supposed to go to the Broken Lands, which is the upper left section there. On your way there, you decided to search the city a little bit. Last time we went back to the ship to spend the night, you saw this huge high-rise, 80-foot stories, pretty much the only big building, multi-story, more than 2 or 3 stories in this whole city that's left. This big 80-story building that has big flying creatures living in the upper floors. And so you decided to check it out. And that's where you guys are now. You managed to find your way up. The main floor, lowest floor, was open. The second floor as well. Third, fourth were blocked by rubble. And the fifth floor you guys explored. And the sixth floor had a bunch of gas to where making it to where it could not you could not travel up it. And so now you guys are on the 8th floor. Okay, okie doke. On the bottom floor, you guys had found were attacked by these cybernetic golems, and you were. Yep, we can hear you. Can you hear us? Awesome. All right, and so the uh, you, you picked up Steve, who is a cybernetic golem, and is sort of following you around, um, answering has answered a couple questions so far. So you guys had come up to this floor. This floor was a little different. It has some power, whereas a lot of the other floors did not. Some of the lights are still working. A hologram greeted you when you came in, and then you worked your way through the hallways, split the party, and as 5 went into the south, you guys had heard some sound of wind, um, and so when he opened the door to the south, you see there's holes in the wall, and there's rubble strewn across the floor there, and something struck out at him, and that's where we left off. So we had finished the surprise round. So we are now in the actual round one with, actually no, this thing had not attacked. So we are in the surprise round right now. Um, so surprise rounds work a little different in Starfinder than they do in D&D. So during the surprise round, people who can act are only those who have surprise, not the ones who were surprised. And the ones who can act can only do either a standard or a move action. They cannot do both. So in this case, whatever it is that's attacking Fievel is the thing that has surprise. And you guys remember seeing these critters before. There was one outside the Maze of Ghosts, living in the rafters there. All right, so this thing comes out and it tries to bite you. You know how snakes feel about mice. Oh, so what I just said contradicted what I just did. So, it can only move or attack. It can't do both. So it moves up, does not attack. The one below him, below the table, is close enough. It lashed out and missed. And so now we zip through everybody else. Nosy did hear something. Zerail did not. Was I right? Okay. But you can hear, you guys have comm links and stuff, so you guys can talk to each other. And then Serena is right there, so she sees it. All right. Do you have Steve's character sheet, Bobby? There you go. And if you want to grab the little circle next to his name, you can drop it down into one of your hotkeys. That way you can just pull it up next week if you want to. So presuming he survives that long. Yeah, when you put your cursor over it, it'll turn into a hand next to his name. All right, so on him, he has senses somewhere. Come on, come on. Maybe he doesn't. Okay. All right, so he doesn't have any special senses, so we're just going to roll. His perception is wisdom. All right, so he's sort of out in the hallway, doesn't really know anything about what's going on. One thing before I forget, Zerail Arakanid is, I've been saying Ara is small, is tiny, and I was mistaken. It's actually diminutive. Function-wise, tiny and diminutive is pretty much the same. It just means it's even smaller than we thought it was. Four small creatures can be in a, four tiny creatures can be in a 5-foot square. 25 diminutive creatures can be in a 5-foot square. So it's the size we've been saying it has a tarantula, but as far as the game mechanics go, it's actually diminutive. Nothing else changes. It's just I was correcting myself. So for those anal people out there who are watching or who may watch later, and we say it's small, it's tiny, it's not. It's diminutive. So, all right. So having said all that, we are at the bottom of the. We are now at the. That's right. We're now at the top of round 2. And is anybody yelling anything or doing anything? All right, so I'll give it to you and say So Steve will move up. Actually, no. Bobby, what do you want Steve to do? All right, so he could try to shoot this thing. He would be at a -5 though if you wanted him to do so. All right, so now this thing is going to bite you for real. So Steve, he's very RoboCop-ish. I know it's an old school movie, but um, sort of moves up, uh, has his gun ready, but nice. Now you have your own. So this thing lashes out and bites into you. And is going to try and grapple you now. All right, and what is your KAC? All right, so you are grappled. So grappling is a combat maneuver. And so in order to do any kind of special combat maneuver, it is an attack against your CMD, combat maneuver defense, which is also on the front page, but it's basically KAC plus 8. So it needed a 30 and it got a 33. So it hits you and grapples you, else besides biting you. All right, so you are grappled. And for those of you taking notes, grappling is you cannot move or take two-handed actions. All right, Nosy. Okay. So you're casting it as at level 2. Okay. So if we look at the notes, we have the summon creature list. So you would get a small creature, correct? Or 2 tiny creatures. All right, so you're going with 2 air elementals then? Good, because that's the only ones. Actually, no, I don't even have those. Okay, never mind. So you can go to in with any elemental you want. Let me pull it up. Give me just a second. All right, and so as we've discussed a couple times before, your summoning spell, you start it now, and it will finish the start of your next turn, because it takes a full round to cast. All right, and we'll go ahead and move. Yeah, go ahead and move Nosy wherever you're going to move this round. All right, so you move up, you start waving your hands, and eyes start getting all glossied over as you, and these light starts forming around your hands. Wind starts blowing, ruffling your lab coat, and as you're starting to summon these creatures from the air of air. All right, Serena. You, yes, whatever you just did is correct. All right, so despite 5 being in the way, that is still a hit. I mean, the trick attack is successful. It has to be a 20 CR 23 or less. All right, so the problem is that was your solo weapon, so you have to move first. Hello, hello. Looks like he said he couldn't hear you guys. I can't hear you, Ron. Um, Bobby, are you there? All right, I can hear you, and Roberta can. Hello. All right, I'm kind of low, he says. Okay, I can fix that. Can you hear them now? Can you hear Roberta and Bobby? So Ron, you keep dropping out. All right. And so, Bobby, what race and class is your character? Yes, okay. All right, so he is correct. For some reason, you guys are not coming through. What the hell is going on? There we go. Now we can hear you. But yes, we can hear you. Can you hear us? Yes, we can hear you. All right, so try it again, Ron. Say hello.
I may need to use VC for volume if I'm not getting anything going here. Bobby, can you say something?
Yeah. What's up?
Bobby. Yes, no, maybe. It's
All right, so now it looks like that fixed it. Bobby, say something, please.
Yes.
okay.
Hello.
Okay, that's good. And Roberta?
Apologies again. I'm using VC for volume right now.
I'm here.
I'm showing Discord is reading my voice, but nothing else.
Okay, no problem.
I still not heard anybody.
Can you hear us?
I cannot hear you. No, I have no volume. I didn't touch anything.
All right, well, it
Okay,
is
let me just double check. I
Serena's
sure touched
turn.
something. That's
All right,
what
so
I'm gonna do.
there we go. So she moved up.
100%.
So the critter is going to get an attack of opportunity against her, but he has
Cookie.
Fivel already wrapped up. So
You're showing me a cookie. It looks delicious. It looks like butter or something.
Self earlier. Sorry, I didn't mean to detract from the game.
all right, he can't hear us, so it's a little frustrating. Um, so the snake would be able to attack him, but because he's got Fivel wrapped up, he can't. So, for those of you watching on the stream, number 4 is over here, I believe. Oh, no, he's not. He's right here. All right, so Serena runs up, and she's also going to attack.
All right, just for fun, VC is on. I'm going to hang up and try Discord again. It's hung up. I'm going to do it again.
All right, so
Okay. Oh, now I hear. Nope.
hello,
Yes.
hello, hello.
All right, I hear you now. Oh, is that me? Is that on me?
Yeah, you're echoing through VC.
Yep, I pulled VC out.
You know.
I can hear you now, Ron.
Okay, so, all right. Okay.
All right,
I think
good to go.
my tablet. Okay, sorry. My mistake. Whatever.
All right. Yeah, so Roberta said do a Mystery Science Theater thing and make up your own dialogue, Ron, and Jingo like that. All right, so as you move up, the snake wrapped around 5 doesn't get a chance to attack you like it normally would because he's wrapped around 5. But the one that you move up to and hit attacks you back and does hit. So first of all, we'll do that damage.
This is against Serena.
And now it's going to try to grapple you.
Yes.
Yes, he's doing damage to Serena. He does not with a fumble. It was not an actual attack, so we don't have to worry about the fumble chart. All right, so Flyval, you now, because you are grappled, you have a choice. You can't move from your current space. You can either try to grapple it back using grapple combat maneuver, or you can try the escape task of the acrobatics skill to break free.
I'll try the acrobatic skill.
All right, so give me just a second here. Let me grab this. Here it is. Escape.
Oh, hold on. I don't think I'm supposed to be rolling.
All right, so you are grappled or pinned, so it's 10 plus the grappler's KAC. So go ahead and roll your acrobatics. All right, a 4 on the dice is not going to do it, but I do want to check something. Because you are a tiny rat man, you have Moxie. Let me see if that helps you.
Yeah.
When attempting an acrobatics check to tumble through the space of an opponent. Okay, so no, it does not help you.
Can Dosi or just like reach down and grab him, pull him out?
You can attempt to grab him next turn, yes, out of the snake's hand, yes. So think of this thing as like a python that's wrapped around him. So it's more than just a matter of just grabbing him because if you're strong enough, you would just pick them both up. So you got to push against the snake and try to yank him out. So.
Okay.
But you can try,
But
absolutely.
He's still standing up, and he has a snake on his body. So.
Right, and you see him wiggling and attempting trying to get out.
All right, that makes sense.
All right, Miss Zerail and Ara, what's up? So for those on the stream,
Steve.
she has a companion that is an empathid. It's a small little spider.
What do I? Oh, wait a minute. I've all wrapped up at this point. Oh yes, I do.
Correct. 5 is all wrapped up.
Dude, he in a precarious situation. Magic question: how do I hypnotize? Because I do have that thing. I'm trained in that thing.
Yeah, that's not. It's not something that you can do in combat. It's something you do for it's a whole thing. It takes time. It takes, I believe, it's a 15 to 20-minute attempt.
He's miraculous.
Okay, so from what I read, it's 1 round to do it, and you can do it in combat, but I'll move on. I'll have Ara go in there. Oh,
And where
Ara.
did you read about it?
Starfinder forum.
Okay, so I don't actually have the book that it's in, so I do not know the specifics of it. So you very well may be right. But for now, since I don't know any of the DCs or how it works, plus this thing is eating 5-all, so it's not really looking at you, we'll move on for now.
Okay, so that's why I'm going to send Ara in.
All right, and are you going to the one that's free, attacking Serena, or the one that's on 5-all?
Let's go to the one on 5-0 because I think that one's a little bit more distracted. So
All right, so it's a party in 5-all square. Woot woot.
Exactly.
did that roll was me?
Yes, that
Hola,
is a hit.
hello.
Nice.
Oh, I was too far up on the thing.
It says it's there. All right, I've got to add another one. And then we're going to move him down.
Can't hear you guys.
4, 6, 13. 6, 13. 13.
I can hear you though.
You can hear me? I can't hear Sven.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
not talking.
He's, he's talking
I
privately and
okay.
not bothering to tell us.
All right, so
I
Ara
wasn't
moved
sure.
and attacked. And did you damage? Did you hit it? No. All right, so here's the damage. All right, so this small little tarantula-looking thing crawls up around, and as this thing is wrapping itself around 5-all, and it sort of works its way around and then finds where a couple scales are being stretched, sinks its teeth into it. All right, so I forgot to set him in place, so he would have been here. 1, 2,
Go, Ara.
3, 4, 5, 6. All right, and so Nosy has a new friend. It came down the hall, around the corner, and down the hall.
Oh. Two.
All right, so this thing comes whipping around the corner, snaps at her, and then goes to wrap around her. And so you have a 20 defense, so that would be a 28 CMD. He rolled a 37. So you also are grappled.
This is the kind of attack that this particular creature does. Is that why?
Correct, like a python. It grabs you and then starts squeezing. But this one has teeth too, so it does both. All right, so top of round 3, we are. Did I miss one? Well, it looks like I missed one. So oh, sorry, I didn't show you guys. So 5-all, you lucked out. So go ahead and try to, you can try to escape if you'd like.
Skills. It's acrobatics, right?
Yes. There we go. So 30 is enough to get out. And so you are using your standard action. The escape task of the acrobatic skill is so on a success, you free yourself from the grapple and no longer have the grappled or pinned condition. So you can then move.
Can I attack it?
No, because you used your action to get out.
Okay. Just thought I'd ask. Uh, I'm moving back out the door. Right there. Is it gonna look?
All right, so I'm going to say, I might be mistaken about this, but I'm going to say because you escaped and had to use your whole action to do it, I'm going to say it does not get an opportunity attack because that was the whole point, is to get away from it. So, and I'm going to say it's also in this square over here. All right, so I'm going to do a perception check to see if this thing notices Aura. You did bite into it, so it's going to be a pretty good check overall. So I'm going to say it's a DC 15. All right, so either it didn't notice you or it doesn't care, and it's going to move over here. Actually, no, it's not going to move at all. His friend bit Serena but did not wrap around him, so he's going to attack Serena.
Attack me?
Yeah, the one above you hits. So it bites into you, and then it's also going to try to grapple you as well. "24, 30 is 32. And it does succeed, so it needs a 32 and it got a 35. All right, so next turn, next guy is Nosi. So the way it works is he has to renew the grapple every round. So he's going to try that again.
About the snake is attacking.
This is Nosi. So he has Nosi wrapped up. Your defense is 18, so he needs a 26. He got a 29, so he did succeed. So in this case, it squeezes you, and it's actually the same damage. That's weird. Same damage as a bite. All right, so you're being squeezed as this thing is squeezing you. Funny how that works. All right, now, we have to do a concentration check because you've taken damage to see if you finish your spell.
What am I rolling?
All right, give me just a second. I know what it is in 5e, but this is the first time we've ever had to worry about it for you. Check.
We're looking up the.
So I'm looking up to try to figure out what you roll on and what the roll is and what the DC is. So what kind of check it is, and then here it is. This thing I'm looking at is not very well written. So give me just a second here. I'm almost there. Oh, there it is. So I'm sorry. So it says I was just skimming and looking for something in particular and didn't find it. Anyway, so it says normally you concentrate even in a distracting situation. But if you're casting a spell and you take damage from either a successful attack that targeted your AC or from an effect that you failed on a saving throw, the spell fails. So there is no check, the spell just fails.
Because I was damaged?
Because you were damaged while casting the spell. So you were in the middle of casting and all of a sudden a snake runs up and bites the crap out of you.
Right.
So don't forget to mark off the spell slot. Yeah, I said, sorry that took so long, guys, but we've never had that happen before, so Nosy is usually way out of the way. All right, so now you can try to grapple it back or try to use your acrobatics to get out.
Right now, it's not my turn yet.
Oh, sorry. Serena, go for it.
Yeah. So doing a trick attack. Again, the same.
Well, you are grappled, so you cannot move. So you would
Okay.
not be able to do a trick attack, an acrobatics trick attack while you're grappled.
Okay. So.
But you are photo attuned, don't forget that.
Yeah. Two. Photo attune 2 at this point. 3 is the first round was a surprise. So. All right. So can I use bite map at this point in time, or no? If I'm being wrapped.
Yes, it just says you can't move. So
So I'll just go ahead and
I
strike.
believe you also have a minus. Actually, it doesn't say anything about. It says and other negative effects. So you can either try to grapple it back, try to get out, or try to attack, but you would have some sort of negative effect. Fantasy Ground would know because it shows you grappled, so we can give it a shot and see.
Okay. So just go ahead and press attack. I mean, roll for attack.
Correct.
Critical.
All right, so it says -2, so you have a -2 to your attack. Yeah. But you got a crit, so that's awesome. Woohoo! Dun, dun, dun.
Okay, so I'm pressing the peak hold for the. What am I doing? Oh, the flat-footed.
Nope, you just roll your damage because you're not doing any kind of special attack. You're just attacking.
Okay.
All right, so rolling all the dice. It's pretty funny if you look at that. D8 plus 2d6 plus 2 green 6, a green 8,
Yeah,
and
the green's supposed. Isn't the green supposed to be the trick attack, or not?
no, that's critical damage.
Oh, critical. Oh, nice. The critical's magic too, so that's some damage.
Yep, 49 points of damage in one slice. So this thing wraps around you, but unintentionally wraps itself around your sword as well, that you use with your solar mode, and so you're just sort of moving it up and down and slicing into it as it's trying to squeeze you closer and closer, slicing into itself. All right, so Steve.
Eve, what am I gonna do with him? Can
I still
let's see.
think of Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs every time I
Steve,
say his name.
Steve.
Steve.
So can I move him back here behind this one?
You wouldn't be able to because you can't go through enemy squares. If I will say he would be able to squeeze around, but it would take he has a speed of 40, so he can go, that's 25, and it counts as 10. Oh, yes, so he can do it. So the way it works is he moves through Fievel and Zerail Square just fine, but then he's squeezing around Nosy because he's a big guy, and then that takes an extra 10, but he's got the movement, so he's good to go.
I'm confused. I thought that the door was right where Zerail's standing.
Yes, it is.
So I'm so confused. A couple. All right,
Okay.
go ahead.
The one from that attacked Nosy, is that what the one you're confused about?
Yeah.
He came
Yeah.
around the corner from over here.
Okay. All right. All right.
Yep, he came from the south up and around the corner.
I'm gonna do
Oh,
the
so there's three of these.
little. I'm gonna punch him with his gauntlet thingies. So,
All right. I'll target it. I don't know if it'll work, but we'll give it a shot.
or
All right, so that is a hit.
so now it's
Go ahead and roll your damage.
Damage. Nice.
All right, so you go and this sonic fist goes slamming into the snake wrapped around Nosy, and as the little contact points on the end of it hit, this pulse comes out, sonic pulse, and snake takes 25 damage, and Nosy takes 12. Oh, your sword must do bleeding, have a bleeding critical because it applied it automatically. Very nice.
It says magic. It says wound is the critical.
Okay, cool. Anyway, so it takes some damage as it's bleeding out, and then it's this one. His friend has you wrapped up, so rules is written. I don't see any reason why it says you can't take opportunity attacks, so you can give it an opportunity attack. So Serena, go ahead and give it an attack.
From the sword? From my sword?
Correct. As this thing is, it's running away, bleeding out, and you hit.
All right.
All right, so it goes to turn away, but you slice into it, and it just sort of wiggles there on the floor.
So, where's the bleeding thing that you said it's some 1d6? Is it just automatically rolling it?
Correct. If it's a creature, it can take an action to stop the bleeding, or if it gets any kind of magical healing, it'll stop the bleeding. And by creature, I mean if it's an intelligent creature. Stuff like this, a snake or a robot and stuff, may not always have the ability to stop a bleeding condition. All right, so Nosi, you are wrapped up in this thing. What would you like to do?
He would like to use her bone blade. Stab into this thing.
All right, so as it's wrapping, twisting closer, you sort of reach down, pull out your blade. Go ahead and roll.
I'm not hearing you on Discord again. I may have to hang up and do it again.
All right, so
Can
go
you
ahead
hear
and
me
roll.
on
Make your
VC
roll.
now? She's going to use her bone blade, and I don't know if she's targeted. Can you please target? I can't figure out how to do that right now. And if so, then I will. You all set? All right, I'm rolling. 9. Oh, miss. I say, Mulligan, I got to do that one over. This thing's right there, you know?
Yeah, but you're wrapped up, and you're.
No, it's just a little. That's all. You know, get her done. You know. All right, just so you know, I'm trying Discord again.
All right, Israel.
See, that works.
I'm gonna zap.
I don't know why it's doing that. Why is this?
Can you hear us? We can hear you.
I can hear you. Yes.
Yes.
It's for some reason my
my
Discord's cutting out every once in a while.
Turn your VC volume off.
VC volume. Why? Oh, yeah, I did. I'm sorry. Oh, never mind. I got it. It's all good.
All right, so what would you like to do, Israel?
Filtering through. I'm gonna reach out and touch that snake.
Which one?
And see if I can.
Are you touching the one on Nosi or the one that's loose with aura on it?
That one's still in the room, right?
Feet away from me, which would be the one below Nosy.
Okay.
And touch him. I'm not moving to do so. Where is my thing? I'm really super close. Did that target him? Okay.
Yes, it did. And is it?
Where's my damage?
Do they have any kind of save?
No.
All right. So you reach out as this thing is writhing on the ground and are able to touch it long enough to send electricity blasting through your hand. It takes a bunch of damage, and Ara takes a little bit of damage.
You roll for aura for the damage as well on that one.
That electricity comes blasting, not my hand.
Comes blasting out of what then? Not your hand?
My pistol. It has to be metal.
Okay. So you send it through your pistol into the snake. Okay.
Yes.
This thing is dead. All right, to the top of the next round. Fievel is now loose and free.
Yay.
What would you like to do, Fievel?
Woohoo!
Right there.
Run, man, run.
Nope. I'm oh, oh, real good, real good.
Huzzah! It's a crit.
Yeah.
Funny.
All right, so you slash into this thing with 19 points damage.
It's
13. Okay, hold on.
I did 8.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
All right, and so the creature that Zerail touched had been attacking Serena. I'm going to say there is a 30% chance that it switches to Zerail. Almost. It thought about it, but 8 points away, it goes back to Serena. Oh, wait a minute.
she's gonna wreak her revenge anyway.
She was already grappled by it, so it tries to grapple her again, maintain the grapple, but it does not succeed. I only got a 21 this time. Toots on the dice, so you are free and no longer grappled, Serena. Back to Zerail.
Wow, that was fast. Let's see. I go this time. She's still taking a ride on the snake. Oh. Jeez Louise, spider. Too much. She can't get a good grip.
Alrighty, and so next
Keep her trying.
is the little snaky man outside in the hallway, who is still giving No-See a hug. So he's going to see if he can maintain the grapple. So your defense is 18, so that's a 36 is what it needs, and 26, and it got a 29. So it does. So it'll say bite, but it's actually just continuing to squeeze and squeeze and squeeze.
Meaning that it hit, or that was just a grapple roll.
Ouch.
It already has you grappled, so as long as it
And-
maintains the grapple, successfully renews the grapple, it does the damage, the squeeze damage. All right, Serena.
Serena, there's still a snake there in the room with our
Correct.
correct?
Or
Okay.
right next to you, the one that was attacking you.
Yes. Okay. She's gonna attack that one. Using bite maps attack. You do her fix attack yet or not?
Yes, you can. She's no longer grappled, so you can do it.
Yeah, okay,
Hold on, that's really close. I don't remember what CR these are. That is exactly what you need, 28 or higher. So you do trick it.
I'm doing left foot. Yes. Oh well.
All right, and so you sort of shake off the fact that this thing was on you and do a little feint as it's trying to keep track of you and Zarel and the spider, but blade just slides along. It doesn't actually find purchase. No, see, you are wrapped up still.
Bone blade action again. Go ahead and strike. Correct.
Yep. Go ahead and roll your attack.
Mound.
There we go.
Roll. All right, so gonna be stunned, I believe, for a magic thing on that, but tell me. Nice. It's just wounded though. Wow. So what does it mean? It's a critical is magic stun. What does that mean?
So it puts the effect of stunned on it. So you can see in the combat tracker, it says effect stunned, and it's also flat-footed because it's stunned. Are you asking what the stunned condition does?
Yeah, I mean, is it automatically doing something? I'm assuming.
So it's automatically applied to it, and it says you drop everything, can't take actions, and you're flat-footed. So on its turn, it can't take actions, and it has everybody else has a +2 to hit it. All right, so you're what were you? You were hitting it with your bone blade. Okay, yeah. So you're I forgot that it's not actual something you pull out. It's like baraka. It comes out of your wrist and goes slicing up into it through its jaw this time, and it just sitting there twitching a little bit as you slam it. Blood comes pouring out of this thing. All right, Steve.
Okay. Steve. What do we...
If you're talking, we can't hear you, Bobby.
You can't hear me?
There you go.
Huh.
We got it.
Guess I'm gonna do the same thing again.
All right.
Punch it. Oh. If it'll let me do that.
3 on the dice is still enough to hit it because this thing was flat-footed from being stabbed in the throat with a bone knife. So go ahead and roll your damage. Half of 22 is 11. All right, and Nosy takes 11. As this thing takes 23 points of damage again, pulse comes coming out of his fist as he slams into this thing. And this is now the top of round 5, Serena.
Arena, the same thing. Quick attack.
So don't forget, you can now just turn on the photon mode 3. Just open up the little reactor symbol in the combat tracker. And next to photon mode 3, it says off. You can just click it and turn it on.
I don't have that. It's been doing everything correctly so far. It's been doing.
There you go. I turned it on for you. So go ahead and take your attack. Alright, so trick attack was not enough this time. It tracked you the whole time, but you do get to attack. Nice. Use up 3 on your trick attack so that you could now hit. So slice into it with your blade. And this thing is starting to look a little bit worse for wear. Nosy.
Still grappled and whatnot. So
Yep. Still wrapped up in this thing.
same thing. Bone blade action. Oh, it's a miss.
So it learned its lesson last time. As you
So
go to pull it out and put it back in, it jerks out of the way. 18. Alright, so this thing is going to try to grapple you yet again. And it fails because it needed a 26 and it only got a 24. So it's still sort of around one of your legs, but it's not, doesn't have you wrapped up and is not squeezing you anymore. So it does not do any damage. And by the way, that's one of the frustrating things about Starfinder, Pathfinder, is that it's so hard to do these type of special maneuvers, grappling and stuff, because there's so many steps you can do, and the person gets to try to get out and maintaining it before you can do any damage. That's why a lot of people don't worry about these combat maneuvers. But these are snakes; they don't care.
good.
They're like honey badger; they don't care.
Good thing to do anyway.
All right, so we're gonna say going after Serena. Oof, 18 on the die is a 37 to hit.
It's a hit. You said that.
That is a hit, yes. And he's trying to wrap around you, see if he can grapple you. And he needed a 32 and got to 35. So he does grapple you one more time.
Has he now moved to my square now, or saying that he's done it from?
He is officially halfway in your square, yes. These things are really long, so part of it's still sticking out in the other square and stuff. There it is, grappled. Steve.
Steve's turn, huh? Okay. My buddy Steve here. Where's his? There it is. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna do the same thing again.
That is a hit.
Uh,
23. All right, and so Nosy takes 11, as this thing takes 23. Zerail, you're noticing that Nosy's not looking too good. She's taking a little bit of hit point damage now.
Oh no.
She's only down a little bit, but still, it's starting to bleed. As you hear a crack as one of her ribs crack. Not not sure if it's the snake or from Steve's sonic punches, but
Something going down.
Okay. Mhm. Mhm. Combat.
you were cutting out there. What'd you say?
Red, I'll go for it. You
Can I
got
do a
it.
healing touch in the middle of combat?
I don't remember off the top of my head. What does the first part of it say?
Let's see.
In 10 minutes to magically heal an ally up to 5 hit points. No.
You can start, and in 60 rounds, it'll finish.
Yeah, I'd say no.
Oh, here we go. Let me just see this one.
Right?
This one just says restore 3d8 hit points to a living creature.
I'm talking about Mystic
That's
Cure.
standard action.
Yeah. You can also
Yep.
cast it lower if you want, at level 1 or level 2 if you want.
No, I'll just do it this way.
Okay, so boom, she's only down stamina now. Don't forget to mark off your spell slot. And that was your standard, so that means, are you gonna move?
No, I'm doing pretty good right here.
Alrighty, 5. All those grenades sitting there not being used.
Really?
19 on the die for a 30 to hit.
$18.
All right, so you're using
Quick,
your.
quick question. My last attack on that, I got a critical, right? It's got the leeching thing for the. Did did it do that?
Are you talking about last round?
Yeah.
Steve. It was. That's weird. I don't know why it didn't count as a critical because it didn't roll the damage and it didn't do the special effect either. Let me see what is its EAC. So the way I think I know what happened. Let me just double check this 1 second. Yeah, so it was against a 22. So what happens is a 20 will always hit if you roll a natural 20.
Okay.
But it is not always a critical hit. You have to get 10 plus its armor class. So in this case, its armor class is 22, and he rolled a 31. So it didn't. It was an automatic hit, but it wasn't actually a critical hit. That's why it didn't do double damage, double dice, and it didn't do the leech. So that's why.
Okay. But I guess that's my turn. I'm gonna stay right there where I'm at.
All right. So you bring out this scepter. It looks like all these bones and cold damage, and slams into it. All right. It is back to you, Nosy.
She's still, I got the thing on her. Continue with her bone blade. Once again.
4 on the dice is a miss.
A 9.
And Vival, you're up again. And there's a hit.
Yep. Stay there. Pound on it till it's dead.
All right, so 17 more damage added to this thing as you guys keep pounding on it. And it's back to Steve.
Nice.
Eve.
And there's a hit.
Nice.
All right, and this thing is not looking very good. It's got a bunch of cuts and places where it's now um, indented, and some of the bones are starting to stick out a little bit in its hide. Zerael, your turn.
All right, take her turn. Right over there.
All righty.
You're standing right next to Nosi, right?
Zerael is, yes, but Ara is on the other one. And that's it. 16 damage.
Right.
All right, so Serena, you are still grappled for the second time tonight. You gonna try to get out, or you gonna try to attack?
Attack. Just do the same thing. No trick attack, but just attack with the sword. Right?
Correct. And that is it.
Dead. Ah. Pretty good. Take it.
18. All right, so as this thing starts to wrap around you, you position your sword so it wraps around it, and again you use it against it to pull it up as it's slicing out, and that's enough to drop it.
Yep.
All right, this thing on no C is going to disengage. So in order to move through an enemy square where Fievel can do it pretty much. He has a big bonus when he's trying to move through someone else's square. But since this thing is not a Yisoki, it does not get the bonus, but it is a acrobatics. Let me just see if I can find the specifics. If not, it might just turn around and try to attack it again. Here it is, escape. Tumble. Alright, so it says as long as tumble underneath acrobatics, by the way, if you're wondering where I'm looking, as long as you don't have the encumbered or overburdened condition, you can use your acrobatics to move through a space threatened by an enemy or enemies without provoking attack of opportunity from them. To move action, you move half speed. The DC is 15 plus 1 and 1/2 the opponent's CR. And then if there are multiple opponents, which there are, because Fievel and Steve are threatening the square it wants to move through. And it increases by 2 for each additional opponent beyond the first. So Fievel is 9, so 1/2 of him is 4. So it's 13 plus 15 is 28, plus 2, so it has to get a 30 or more on its acrobatics. So it gets to the first square, and now has to do it again for the second square. This time only needs a 28. 15, 20. All right, so it moved, and this is a tumbling is a move action. All right, so it still has its action, so it's going to take its a dash action and run away. 6, 7, 8. 7, 8. All right, and with that, you guys are out of combat.
Yay.
Oh,
All right, so a couple of you have taken some fatigue. And Nosy is the only one who's taken any kind of hit point damage. You're down 10. If you have any healing serums, those only do 1d8, so you may want to burn one of those real quick. Do you guys want to take a 10-minute rest? And if so, where are you going to do it?
Should take a 10-minute rest. No C would like to use her healing channel. Or I'm sorry, her healing touch.
Actually, I forgot. Nosy has regenerative blood, so you heal hit points on a short rest. And so I think it's 9.
It's 10.
Oh, you heal 10 on a short rest? So that's what you're down. So perfect. So go ahead and open up that action. There should be a little red plus, and you can heal that.
Drop it on her.
Oh, you had the
There you go.
creature.
That worked. Yep.
Yeah, you had the creature targeted, so you healed the creature.
Yeah, but she's still down.
It
Still
appreciates
down
it.
81.
Thank you.
Sure it does. In its dead form.
All right, so you guys are taking a short rest. Let me push that to you. Anybody who wants to use your, there you go. So anybody who wants to use their resolve to get their stamina back, now is the time to do it.
Well, she's gonna do that. Sure. Okay.
Yeah, Serena's only down 39. Fivel's still down 18, but don't know that anybody else cares. And when that happens, Ara also gets healed from the little bit of damage she had, so she's good to go. SP, what the for stamina? Oh,
Minute patches and kits.
all right. So you guys are all set and ready to go. Now that adrenaline is all pumping again, and you guys have calmed down a little bit. What would you like to do? As DM, I'm gonna close some of these 15 windows I had open.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
On Serena's stats here, she's got fatigue is 39, and then SP. What does that mean?
Stamina points. So that's your total. And then a fatigue is what you have subtracted from the stamina. So you have hit points and wounds subtracts from your hit points. Stamina, fatigue subtracts from your stamina.
So I have to get 103 fatigue to then begin starting to hit the hit points.
Correct.
Okay. Okay. So a short rest is not going to do that unless she does a resolve for that. So fine for 30. Would she be offended if I throw a holy water grenade at her?
All right.
Say yes, because it's not gonna do anything.
Yeah.
Just get her stoked.
Yep. All right. So, what are you guys doing? Let me unlock the tokens.
Maybe continue on or search.
I'm not opening any more doors.
You say
Shit
that,
trying
but
to eat me.
I'll give you 15 minutes.
Nope. I ain't opening
All
any
right,
more
so we're heading
doors.
down this way, correct?
All right. So where Serena is, she just left. Okay. All right. So you see the door ends in double doors and hallways that goes left and right. Um,
There's also
and there's more rubble to the south. So it looks like there were holes in this wall as well. So this is where the other snake came from.
okay. It's about there's a door there, right north of Steve, correct? We haven't tried that one yet.
Correct.
All right, well, I think well, Serena will check the door.
Indeed.
It is unlocked, so you can open it.
And it, okay, what's she seeing there? Desk and chair.
Correct. Similar to the other two rooms.
Quick glance, see if there's anything. It's all
Snake comes
dusty
out
and
and tries to eat her.
And so there's nothing in here of value. The desk is sags in the middle. The chair looks like it is gonna crash and break anytime somebody tries to sit on it.
Darrell, did you want to check out that room we were just in, see if there's anything of value, or you're thinking?
All right, so Zarel, you see there are some bones of some birds and some like small like squirrels and stuff that are in here. Snake droppings. You see the molting of one of the snakes critters, and then two dead snakes.
Dead
Nothing
snakes.
else in the room.
Nah.
How big are the birds?
You're not really sure because they're digested. So
Uh,
what's left of them when they come through the snake and out the other side, not that
It's of
big.
a pile of
So
bones.
okay, they were eaten.
all right, so you guys ready to go into this last room?
Nope, not me.
You're fine, dude. You're fine.
It's trying to eat me all the time.
They eat us all, right?
All right, so Serena, you gonna go in?
Yep. Opened or opened it.
I'm not going in first. No more.
All right, so you see that there's a series of long tables set up with rows of chairs behind each table, all facing toward the front. Um, you see some equipment has fallen onto the center table right in front of Serena. So it looks like there was projection It looks like this was like a training room or a meeting room or something.
Right. Hey, we'll take a look around.
All right, and so you look around. It's pretty bare. It was more than likely pretty bare even when it was in use. Because there's no, it doesn't look like, there's no workstations in here or anything. It's just basically chairs, tables, and some lights. Half the lights are flickering. A couple of them are completely out. There's only one or two that are actually working like they should after this long. But you don't see anything of value in this room besides the value of a map well made.
Yes, indeed. Very pretty.
All right, so
So I guess this is the floor, right?
we're now going up to the 9th floor. Dun, dun, dun. Haven't quite finished the 9th
Right,
floor yet.
Back out.
Head
But
back
we're
out.
gonna,
We got everything, right?
as far as you guys can tell, yep. So we'll add turn on the line of sight, boink.
Now, is there I know we've got the line of sight stuff. Is there a way to see what we've already gone through without, you know, the restrictions of the line of sight?
Yes, and so for example, when you had the room to the north, so you had stepped into the room with Zerael and then
Right.
stepped back out. There should have been a difference between that room and the room next to it that you hadn't gone into at all. The room we hadn't gone into at all was black. The room that you had gone into is grayed out because there might be monsters moving around in there now that you can't see. But it should have been gray. You know what I'm saying? So that's the difference.
But I'm still only seeing, you know, a bunch of parts of the room that are blacked out, depending on who I'm looking on. Never seeing it in full map.
So you should be able to zoom out, can't you, with the mouse wheel?
Yeah. Never mind. Something. We've
Okay.
been through all this stuff. Head back out to the elevator, or
As far as I know, there's only one room you haven't been in, which is the room
This one.
on the very bottom down here.
yeah, getting it.
This one?
Yeah.
Here, I
down-
guess I'll
down there.
move.
Because this is the
Steve.
one that had the
Yeah.
the doors on the
The door.
other side where the
Yeah,
wood
way down at the
panels
bottom
are.
there. All right, well, we might as well just go check it out, right? So, Serena, no seat. Right there.
I'm here.
There's somebody. I did. I have to go up
I'll move.
to the door.
Yeah, you'd have to go back out through the main room where
It's
you came in.
all the way out.
Correct.
All right. Serena's gonna go check it out. You guys gonna back
The
me
rest
up
of you guys
there?
coming, or are you waiting by the elevators? What do you want to do?
Coming.
As you come back into the room, that hologram appears again, saying visibility.
Thank you.
In the ancient language.
Hey,
Thank
when you
you for
can't stay
visiting the
so
offices of
long.
the Kend. Please remember us for all of your needs. And then goes away again.
Serena's opening the door.
The storage closet.
All right, so you see another
Okay.
desk, another office.
Bunch of dust. A quick gander at the desk here.
And you do not
Dust, print.
see anything in this room either.
All right.
I'm like, you okay in there, Serena?
Yep. Set out. Hit them.
All right, so now they're going to the
Where are
ninth
they
floor.
again?
Give us 7:30. We have half an hour left.
Right. Well, are we continuing up?
And chances are it's not going to be all the floors anyway, but we're getting some nice finding some nice gems and stuff. And by gems I mean cool things.
What happened?
I got that eternal battery, man. It's freaking awesome. Whatever else we got that we already
We're done on that floor.
We're on,
We got some extra parts for Steve if we need them.
yeah. All kinds of cool stuff so far. So I think we should at least continue a little bit more. What do you think? What do you think?
All right, so the question on the table is, do you guys want to keep going up? Is that
Just lost floor 8.
so? Roberta, do you want to keep going up?
How long have we been here at this point?
Time frame here.
Like since the time we arrived to now. How long have we been here?
And we have
In the building or in the whole place?
we had a raid of 5 people. So Pyros967 says, "Hello, how y'all doing tonight?"
Hey,
Right.
for joining.
So he joined us with 5 people. And D&D player 56 also says hello.
Hello.
Thank you.
All right, so to answer your question,
Oh,
I'm double checking the calendar to check the times. Zero 07. All right, so you guys have been in this place for about 1, 2, 3, 4, about 4 hours. Has been taking you about an hour
No.
per floor.
No. My question was, since the time we landed here and started exploring the city till now, how long has it been?
You're on
How many
your
days have
3rd
we
day.
been?
You guys
Third
landed,
day?
messed around,
Steps.
spent the night, traveled up around, did the Maze of Ghosts, did the House of Renewal, came back here,
Okay.
slept in your ship, and now are wandering around and going up. So you're on the 3rd day.
So they,
Yeah, we're not doing that bad as far as everything else. I think if we finish
Okay.
this building out, then we can just go directly to the floating islands out there on the upper left, and then head on out.
We also have Kashimoto 503 in the chat. Welcome. All right, so you guys are going up to the next floor.
Sure.
Yes.
All right, so you
Said
guys
yes.
come up out of the elevator, And let me
Zero
share
is
the map.
It's okay. All right. It's the third floor. So anyway, doesn't matter where what I'm looking at.
All right, so you guys see this has a sort of a linoleum type floor. It's got a design on it. You see to the north there's a little glass table with a plant on it. And you see in front of you there's a large, huge 20-foot long glass uh, about window, and it starts at about 4 feet up to about 9 feet. And behind it, as you can see, there's a little office with a chair and a desk.
Okay.
See, there are 3 hallways leading off to the west.
Where'd Steve go?
He just hasn't climbed up out of the. He's still hanging on in the elevator because you guys are blocking the way.
Oh,
All right. So
Another handcrafted map.
these. So our initial thoughts on what this room might be used for.
So you don't see any chairs, unlike the other places. There's a little glass table, but and there's you don't see any way to interact with the person behind the window. So you're not really sure. This does not seem. Um, I mean, you all would. Your Ron and Roberta and Bobby would know what the various offices are like. The ones that you've been through so far have had waiting rooms for people and stuff. This one looks more like an office where you just come in and work, and it doesn't require a lot of outside
So that
visitors.
should
You just come in. But again, this is just guessing um, with what you've been able to see so far.
be interesting. This will be out where the
So,
where the
guys on the
Kowskis
stream,
live.
if you're hanging around, there's exploring a
Got the fridge
80-story
in the door. Check
skyscraper
out the
in this
where
ancient
the desk thing
abandoned
is over here.
city. It's been abandoned for
Whatever that is
about
here.
1,000 years. So they're now on the 9th floor,
Rear window with
and that's where they are now. I'm sorry, what were you saying about their window?
Rena. She's going up take a look at it.
Okay, so it looks like a window, a solid plate, and you can see behind it. It looks like you see a door straight ahead of you, behind a desk and a little chair there.
Okay. And it's got the computer console there. She's looking at it.
There's no computer on that desk, no. It just
Okay.
looks like may have been papers or something. You're not sure what it
All
was.
right. We get the long hall here. That's in the long hall. That's it.
So there's no CCs, yep. And it looks like there's 2 long halls, and Fievel's also looking down a long hall.
All right. Kid. You want to do pick one of these things? Start up at the top or something, go down.
So with the little lighting that's there, you do notice that Fievel's hallway is not quite as long as the other 2.
Not quite as long. That's a long hallway. All right. I see. We got lots of doors to check. Do some checking. What do you think?
You also notice that actually, everybody give me perception checks. It would be No C, Zerail, and Fievel.
I don't like that. in the tower.
I'm checking the
thing.
tower.
Tower.
The
Please.
tower. Yep.
Tower? Where is my tower?
It's down the bottom, the little
Tower.
dice looking thing, I
Yeah.
think.
No,
Yeah.
I moved.
Looks like it's a big cog with Sven symbol in the middle of it. Find it?
I got it.
All
Thank
right,
you.
so Zarel, you noticed really well. Yeah, so Zarel, you notice because you walked past the other middle hallway to get down to the bottom hallway, that the middle hallway has very few doors. There's almost no doors at all in the middle hallway. The doors seem to be on the outer hallways.
Door.
Yes, that's good. Question mark?
And no, so you notice that there are all the doors are the same except for this one and this one. They're different style doors than the other
Okay.
ones. And it's up, so on the very top row, there are some different doors. All right, so you guys splitting the party. You having Steve squeeze down these hallways.
Are you gonna be able to fit down the hallway?
Zarel, you gonna go with everybody or taking your own path?
Oh, I guess I'll go with everybody else.
I'm so thrilled.
Alrighty.
Be independent. So is Steve gonna stay here by the stairway? Elevator? The hell.
Yeah, I guess if he's not big
Maybe,
enough to go down the hallway.
He
maybe
could
he's
squeeze,
longer.
but it's a big big negative to everything if you're trying to squeeze through the whole 5 foot section.
Just hang out in the foyer there
All
and
right,
watch for critters that might try to sneak in behind us.
all right. So 5 is that a door?
Someone else can open it.
Like Bible, Serena's
I'll
right behind
gladly
you there.
move out of the way.
You can move out of the way too. Closed, right? Jump again. And
All right. So this
the
is
lunchroom.
yet another beautifully handcrafted map from scratch.
Surfboards and everything. Look at that.
So as you come in here, you see there are two large tables set up in the center. You do not see any chairs. Go ahead and give me culture or engineering or computers. And you see there are smaller tables around the outside.
Choices again.
Culture,
Computers.
computers, or
Culture.
engineering.
Engineering.
Oh, anybody? Anybody?
Everybody.
Anybody who's in the room looking around, yep. All right, so Serena and Zareel, actually you guys both made it high enough. You notice the outer tables are just plain wooden or faux plastic, some kind of table. You doubt they're wooden because you don't think they would have lasted this long, but they're the center ones are some sort of mechanical device. Probably had like maybe a holographic display that showed up or some sort of interactive thing as people would stand around and work at these two larger, very large center devices in the middle. The outer tables may have been used for refreshments or gear or drinks, whatever.
Interesting.
But it looks like this room could probably fit 10, 15 people easily and comfortably working around these two things in the middle.
stand-up conference area, perhaps, or something.
Yep.
Something such as that.
Blueprints, drafting, maybe. Yeah, could be. Same, similar feel. Yes.
Pretty empty and whatnot, so we don't glance around.
Yes, it's very bare, so it's easy to see. There's nowhere to hide. There's no drawers. There's no shelving or anything. And with your spatial awareness, you're able to tell there aren't any secret doors. And the one door that leads out to wherever that the front where Steve's waiting.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. All right.
744.
Another hole.
There's another door in that room.
So Serena, the door you're at has a symbol on it.
Okay.
It's about 11 inches high, about 5 inches wide.
Okay. So, Nocia, come over and see if she can read it.
So give me a culture check. DC 30.
You got this. Oh yeah.
So if you remember right, you think it's the symbol for female. And you guys, especially because you're so close, you can tell this door is different than the door you guys just came through.
All right. So.
And there
take
does
a
not
peek in.
appear to be any lock or handle on this door. It's just a push door.
Look in.
All right, so this is a bathroom. What is left of a bathroom? The one wall is reflective. It looks like to be some sort of long basin underneath the reflective surface. And there's some holes in the floor on the other side. This door also has a symbol. It's different than the other symbol.
Okay. So, take a step forward and see. We'll see if she read it.
So it's either symbol for dog or male. You don't remember for sure.
Dog, I say.
Isn't it one and the same?
That's what I'm saying.
And I see what you did there. So you go in, and this is another bathroom, slightly different, but basically the same. Reflective wall, basin, holes in the floor.
Is that a door there? Serena's in front of
Serena's in front of a door now, yes, and there's one next to Nosy if she moves up into the square next to her, yes.
See, look right there then.
Janitor closet.
So, looks like it.
All right, so it's a long room, and you see that there are several lines on the wall on both sides, some sort of panels, and then you see an ancient computer on a curved table.
So finally, we'll take a quick look at this and see if it looks like it'd be worthwhile investigating.
Here.
All right, so give me a computer check. And it doesn't have to be in a tower, just a straight computer check.
Any help?
I don't think I'll need help. But maybe.
She does.
All right,
Big
so
deal.
this looks like a standard computer in that with some of the keyboards you've seen, some of the interactive things that you've seen in this building so far, like the main elevator control had very simple basic controls. The one downstairs in the 8th floor again had more specific things but and a small keypad, but it was mostly for finding individual names. This one looks like it was for data processing, but it does not look like it was for a scientific or graphing, or it looks like more like basic data processing. And Nosy, give me culture or electronics.
Electronic meaning engineering.
Yeah, sorry, engineering. So you know these strips on the wall are mechanical in nature, but I'm not really sure what they would use for.
All right, she's gonna take a closer look at them, see if they move or anything.
They do not move. They look to be about 6 inches high, and they go about 20 feet along the wall, and they're on both sides.
I'm gonna take a glance. Right there. Still saying, is there a door standing in front?
Correct. Then she's standing in front of a door, and there's oh, I made a mistake. So there's a door right in front, right here. So there's a door right there. I should change the color of my dice because of this floor. Um,
There
there you go. There you go. So the hallway ends in a door. Doesn't end. It curves around a corner. But if you'd walk straight, you would run into a door. It's just not shown on the map right now. And it is also different than these other doors. It doesn't look like the bathroom door, and it doesn't look like the other doors that like Zarel is standing in front of. It's a third type of
I've
door.
seen into. We've already seen this room, right? She's standing in front of. Can we glance in there? Or not?
Zarel has not opened the door, neither has Nosy.
It's showing it as being opened. That's why I'm at it.
I opened it.
Oh, Zarel did go in? Okay, so there you go.
I didn't go. I opened it, but I didn't go in.
All right. So, I mean, it's, it guys, this hall goes down all the way to the other side, I believe. It's probably all interconnected.
So to answer your questions, Zarel, for example, should see like Nosy went into the bathroom. So the bathroom should be a lighter gray, but you should see the pattern of the floor, for example. Whereas the one you're right next to should be all black because you haven't been in there. Is that correct?
Move my token.
I didn't realize she'd gone.
And yes, that's correct.
Okay,
Okay.
yeah. So that gives you an idea of where you've been and haven't been. But if Zarel goes into a room and nobody else does, Zarel's the only one who will see what's in that room. That part of
No,
the
I'm
map
saying
is the only thing that'll be exposed.
two or three doors we've already been through just recently. None of that map is showing.
Because Serena or whoever you have clicked didn't go in those rooms. If you click on the other token, whoever went into, like Nosy, if you click on her token, till there's a circle around it, then you should be able to see like the bathrooms.
Got it. So there won't be a generalized map where it's all seen as we're going along, like there would be in like Dungeons and
Nope, not unless you go into every room
Got it.
because
All right, cool.
your character hasn't seen, so they wouldn't know what's in there. All right.
So that I can get off of here in time, can we talk about our future now?
Yep. And the last thing to notice, Fievel, is that the door straight in front of you is at the end of the hall is metal. These other doors are not. All right. So, what are your thoughts, guys? Let's start with you, Bobby. What was your thought?
I'm okay with starting another game and playing this one every other week.
All right. And were you thinking about which one having 5 players? This one or the new one having 5 players?
The new one.
All right. And Roberta, what do you think?
The new one have 5 players, and I think it's good to keep us on this one with the ones that we already have, rather than introducing anybody new and starting a new campaign the following week with our new people. I like the idea of doing 2 different campaigns and not having to change days or times. So I like that idea. It changes things up a little bit.
All right. And what do you think, Ron?
I think both ways are fine. But if people are leaning towards having 2 separate games and doing it that way, then I say let's go for it. It'll be fun.
All right. So, since you guys have been here forever, you have more experience than anybody else and stuff. There are a couple different choices we have that I'm going to propose to you, and you guys can pick real quick. There's one where you guys end up going into the sun, because the sun itself, or the one that in the middle of this of the Pact Worlds, has creatures and has cities and stuff living in it and on it. There's an adventure path that eventually takes you there. And there's also the option of going through and there's one that's more mystery based. It's called the Thrifold Conspiracy, where you basically end up with against 3 different conspirat, mega super espionage type groups that mess with you. Or there's one where we do a series of mini adventures that are called adventure paths for the Adventure Society. So they're shorter, standalone adventures that you can do each week.
And the same characters.
Yes, it would be the same characters in either any sense. Personally, I think the one with the sun is pretty cool, or the standalone one. I think the one with the 3 people um, isn't going to work as well.
Okay.
But what do you guys think, Roberta?
They're still based in the same world, right? Same universe.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
I like the sun one.
All right, Bobby, do you have a preference? Do you care?
Not really.
Ron?
The sun one's good. Okay.
All right. So, as if you want to look around, click on the classes, click on the races. You would have to have different books open too, though. But there's close to 100 races to choose from. There's a close there's 3 new classes. When you guys made characters, there's now the Biohacker, the Witch Warper, and the Vanguard, besides all the ones that you had to choose from before. And there are also now new twists to every class that you have. So even
From
if
this
you
week,
guys
yeah.
wanted to be the same mystic, there are new ways to be a mystic, and there's new races. And so keep in mind what you want to do. Do you want to be a spellcaster? Do you want to be a fighter? Do you want to be an operative, sneaky guy? Think about that. And those who can, I'll get with you and we'll build characters. Otherwise, we'll build characters next week.
Okay. So are we, I think, new people starting next week or
Yes. So the five-person team will be starting next week, and we will the 2 of them should have characters done up already by the time we start next week. So I'm hoping most everybody will have characters done up.
and we'll be starting from
So
like first or second level, whatever.
yep, starting at first level. Yep.
Okay, cool. And can we find the information for the various characters online or whatever? Or
Yep, you
is it
can't.
separate?
The Starfinder core rulebook is still free. You can get the PDF for free still. All the other new stuff, I'm sure there are wikis and websites out there. Just look for type in Starfinder classes or Starfinder new classes, things like that, and they'll go over all the new stuff. You can also ask me anytime you want, and I can usually open up the table for you. So
Okay.
I'm going to try to steer away from the large races. So I want you, like Steve now, if you were a large race trying to squeeze down this thing, some DMs just hand wave it. There's also there's like a little 11-inch plant person, and that's the opposite extreme. That's crazy. So I mean, the snake would have just bitten you and should just swallow you, but instead you have 100 hit points. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. So I'm trying to steer people away from those 2 extremes. But other than that, there's still hundreds to choose from. You could even be Kish. Now, do you guys know what a Kish is? The tall, three-eyed freaks on this planet. So,
All right, cool.
all right, Alberta's gone. Boom. So be thinking about it, guys. And next week, so those of you on the stream, I'm going to go ahead and close out the stream real quick. So those of you watching on
Thanks.
YouTube, we'll
Thanks
have
for
a
joining us,
new
guys. Appreciate it,
Yeah.
guys and dolls.
every other week.
Yep.
We'll have 2 different campaigns running each Sunday night. So 1 week off, 1 week on.
Yep. I've been working on
And
this
we'll
for
go
the
for
last week or so, every couple of days.
So like,
Laying a
subscribe,
tile
join us 5:30 Pacific
floor
time on Sundays.
in my son's room. Yep.
Wow.
First time ever.
And whatever else you do, enjoy the rest of your day.